People always ask me, why do you write positive stories? It limits you so much. I'm ready to answer the question for all of you that are actually curious as to why I stick to positive stories rather than just covering everything as a whole. It gets a little tiring, and it's not to say that we shouldn't be paying attention at what's going on in the world as a whole, because that's so important, but it's also important to pay attention to the good things that are going on in the world. And it's important to look at people in a different way and say, oh wow, with the ASPCA to raise money for animals that are becoming extinct, or there's people out there that are working really hard on human trafficking.
My name is Tony Gaffastone, and I am a writer and director in the Bay Area, California, and I am doing a film called Neighbor. Neighbor is about a homeless man who witnesses some girls being harassed, and when he goes after the perpetrator, he uncovers a dirty little secret in suburbia, and that secret is human trafficking. I want to tell a story that brings awareness, that changes lives, that supports these agencies and organizations that are fighting this injustice, and I am raising funds to do it, and grateful for all the partnerships and nonprofit organizations that are making it all tax deductible. So join me. Thanks for even considering it and being a part of this journey with me.
And there's people out there that really want to change the world. I can say that positive thinking is key because I used to be a very negative person. I used to think the worst about a lot of situations, and that's probably because of the way that I grew up. My father always told me, you're not good enough. You're never going to be a writer. You're never going to be a filmmaker. You're never going to do it because you have so much competition. I don't feel like focusing on the negative things in this life will ever pull people toward their goals. I write positive celebrity gossip because I feel like too many media outlets have focused on the negative side of things. It's kind of nice to see good things that people love. How Taylor Swift has influenced the world through her music video. There's a music video that she recently did where all the proceeds are actually going to help animals in Africa, Wildest Dreams. It's a great video. Bieber, he has done so many humanitarian efforts. Nobody's noticing these things, but he's noticing the mistakes he makes as a human being, which I think is silly because I'm not perfect, you're not perfect, and he's not perfect. News, I kind of like bringing out the best in everybody, whether you're in the limelight, whether you're a normal individual that just likes to be behind the scenes. We're all doing great things. You're doing great things. I don't know what you're doing right now, but you could be in school and you could be trying to get straight A's. That is great. That's a great step to your future, and you should be proud of yourself. Be you and be proud. I see so many people that are so afraid to be themselves. It's sad. I don't like to see people hiding from who they are, who they truly are, like in their heart, who they truly are. It matters who you are, and it sucks to see you guys hide that. You're a guy and you like to dance? Dance your heart out. I see so many people that are so afraid to show their talents because they're afraid that the world is just gonna bag on them and put them down, and it's gonna happen. I judge people for having tattoos. I judge people for not going to church and automatically giving them an unrighteous judgment, you could say. And that was wrong of me, and I finally grew up, which I can take the fault for that. And I want to say to anybody that I did hurt, I'm sorry for being judgmental. To answer the question simply and quickly, why do I do celebrity gossip? It's positive. Why do I write positive news? Why do I write only positive? Because as a kid, I was growing up and I didn't have the best life. We all have our trials. I just didn't like being told, you can't do it, you're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. I was told a lot of shitty things by my father. And at that point, I was determined to prove him wrong. I didn't like being told I couldn't be a filmmaker. I didn't like being told I wouldn't influence people. Childhood was a little rough growing up, The stupidest things. I'd be worried about what lecture I was going to get because I wasn't good enough for him. And he made sure to make a point of that. I mean, to give you a great example, the word that you never call a girl, I got called every day. That big C word. And I started working at 14. I went into my room and I started watching, still to this day, one of my favorite TV shows, Friends. And I was sitting there and I was sad because, my father had been lecturing my mother, or had actually forgotten her birthday, and was completely, utterly wasted, depressed and sad, and I just want to run away with my mom. And during that time, I really didn't know how to handle the stress of life, and so I popped in Friends, and I watched it, and I laughed. And it was during that time when I realized, damn, I'm sure that as I grow older, there's going to be somebody else maybe in the same situation as me, and I want to make them laugh too. Or if I can get their mind off of whatever it is going on in their life, just for 5 minutes or an hour, or even just for a few minutes at work. Like, I consider what I'm doing successful. And I care about making an honest, true difference in lives, in the strangers' lives that I don't know, in your guys' lives. I don't know a lot of you, and I hope to one day know you. I mean, leave a comment. Tell me how you're doing. I want to know how you're doing.